Hello and welcome back. All right. So continuing from our previous class where we looked at the conditional steps, in this class today we are going to look at two-way conditional steps and understand what is two-way conditional steps in Python. All right. So we have a code again here which says a is assigned a value of 3 and then we are saying if a is greater than 3, print a is greater than 5. We know till here we completely understand how this piece of code works from our previous class. Now what has changed here? In the previous class, if you remember, it was looking for the condition to be true, right? And if it was false, then it used to just skip that block of code and go to the next block of code. Now what we are doing is we are going to be adding an else condition. So else is basically what else does is else covers if this condition is not true, then what should be done and what piece of code should be executed. So basically the else covers the false piece of it, or you can say the if the answer is no, then what should happen is covered under the else statement, right? So now let's look at this explanation. So we are saying initialize the variable a equals to 3 and then do our condition check where we are saying if a is greater than 5, the program checks if the value of a is greater than 5. Since 3 is not greater than 5, this condition evaluates to false. And when it evaluates to false, what happens is it executes the else statement. And in else, it is saying, just go ahead and print a is lesser than 5. What is important here to see is there is no, again, conditional check happening here, right? So we are not saying else a is smaller than 5. We are not saying that. We are just saying if this condition is not true, then this condition has to be printed. So we are just saying else print a is lesser than 5, which in this case is actually true, right? Because 3 is lesser than 5. So else condition gets printed and then again the standard final output, it says print done, right? So if you see the difference here on the flow chart also, you will see the difference here. Here when we are doing the condition check here, we are saying if a is greater than 5, if it is yes, then say a is greater than 5. And if it is not, else a is lesser than 5. Just go ahead and print this. And then we finish our statement. Now let's go ahead and execute this also. We'll say two-way step. Right, so we are saying a is equals to, let's say we'll give the value of 10, and then we are saying if a is greater than 20, print the value of variable a is greater than 20, and without doing a second condition check, we are just saying else colon print the value of variable a is lesser than 20, and then we are giving our final print statement, print this program is now complete. Now if we execute, it says the value of variable a is lesser than 20. This program is now complete. Now if you want to make it interactive, add an input statement here. So what we have to do, we have to first convert this into int, and then we give our input statement and we'll say enter a number of your choice. Now if you execute this, we're entering say 50, and it says the value of variable a is greater than 10. This program is now complete. Sorry, this should have been 20. Okay, so it says, again, we can execute it again. I'm saying 30, and it says the value of variable a is greater than 20. This program is now complete. Okay, I hope that was clear, and you guys now understand the difference between a single conditional statements where you're just doing multiple if checks to see if a condition matches true, and if not, then you just exit all the blocks and you print the final statement. But in this case, one of the statement has to print. It won't be, there won't be a scenario where both of these are going to be skipped. It will be either printing this if it is true, or it is going to print this if it is not true. So one of the blocks are, the print box are definitely going to be printed within these statements. Okay, all right, cool. Now let's move on and let's look at our next topic, which is going to be the multi-way conditional steps. Let's see how what exactly happens in a multi-way conditional step. Let me bring it up. Now here, what we are doing is we are saying we are saying a int input enter a number. Then we are saying if a is smaller than 5, print a is small number. And then we are saying else if a is smaller than 10, then print a is, this is a medium number. And then we are saying else print this is a large number, and then we're saying print goodbye. So what exactly is happening in this one? Let's understand this. So we first have a user input statement in which we are saying, please, we are prompting the user to enter a number. This input is converted to an integer. As you can see, we are doing this int here, and stored in the variable a. The value is stored in the variable a. Then we have our first condition where we are saying if a is smaller than 5, then we are saying if the entered number is less than 5, it prints this is a small number. So if, say for example, we have given the value for a as 2, then it will just print this is small number, and it will print goodbye, right? Now if the, for example, the number that we had given, say for example, number we entered was 6, right? So in that case it won't be true in the first condition, where a is smaller than 5. It is not going to be true, so it goes to the next condition where it says else if, and but 6 is greater than 5 but it is smaller than 10, so it becomes a medium number in this case, and it prints this statement, this is a medium number. And then it goes out of the else block, the else block doesn't execute, and then it goes to the final step and says goodbye. But if both of these if don't match, and our condition for both is false, then by default the else statement will be printed, which is this is a large number, and then we have our final statement. Now if we look at that in the flowchart way, so we are saying enter a number, then analyze the number, is it smaller than 5? If it is yes, then print this is a small number. If it is not, then do a second check where we are saying is a smaller than 10? If that is yes, then we are saying this is a medium number, and then we are saying goodbye. If that is also not true, then we are just saying this is a large number, and then we are just saying goodbye. So basically what we have done in this one is we have multiple if conditions, and then we have else condition. So we are taking multiple paths to make a decision here. Okay, now let's look at this in an example. It's a multi-way step. Now we're saying a equals to int of input, enter a, sorry, inverted commas, enter a number of your choice. We are saying if a is smaller than 5, then we are printing this is a small number. All right, then we have our next if, or the else if, and we're saying if a is smaller than 10, then we are saying print this is a medium number. And finally we are saying if both of these conditions are not matching, then print this is a large number. And then we are coming out of all the conditions, and then we are saying print this program is now complete. Now let's execute this. So let's enter a value for a. If we call it, say, if we say 6, let's see what happens. So it says this is a medium number because 6 is greater than 5 but lesser than 10, and then it says this is a medium number, and then the program flow is complete, which is the final statement. Now if we enter a 4 here, right? So instead of entering 6 here, this time we entered 4, and we are saying enter a number of your choice, and then we enter 4, and then it says this is a small number, and then it says this program is now complete. Now after it executed this if statement, since this was true, it exits all of the rest of the conditions, and then it goes to print this program is now complete. Okay, so that is how a multi-way conditional steps are built, where you have multiple conditions defined, and based on those conditions you perform your steps and make a certain decision there. Okay, all right guys, with that we'll end this here, and we'll meet our next video. Thank you.